Good afternoon. I didn't make it to morning time today, but that's all right. We're going to be casing from the catalog today, and I'm going to show you a few tips in a new catalog that makes things really easy for you. All right? So it doesn't matter if you want to start simple, step it up, or just keep it simple and make a lot of simple cards, right? So Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas, and let's go down the hands and let's do this, because this is a new catalog, a new day, hump day, right? And so this is what we're doing today. This is actually page 33 in the new annual catalog, and if you don't have one and you'd like one, just message me with your mailing address and we'll get you one. One thing I want to show you that's really pretty cool is if you look at this icon right up here, you have little icons that show up, and if you just go a couple of pages over from the beginning of the catalog, I just want to show this to you because it makes it a little bit easier to understand some of the things as you go through the catalog. And you'll see that it says right here that the little clock says that it's quick and easy projects perfect for creating multiples. Let's see if I got that for you. There you go, right there. So it allows you to do some of the new things. So as we got an end that lets you know it's a new product, quick and easy, let you know it goes with the mini embosser. This is distinctive stamps that create different. Can't see that. Can't even see what that says right here. Yeah, but anyways, it's a single stamp image, but it's a nice thing to know. This is a specialized polymer stamp with images on both sides. Those are pretty cool too. And this one here, it says a demonstrator who reaches sales milestones and so forth. So it lets you some of the things that happens with us. And then it tells you about here also. These are all let you know the different languages. So we actually have some Spanish languages right now. So it lets you know if what languages the stamps are available in, right? So with this one right here, for example, I'm going to be using this stamp today, which is on page 33, and it lets you know that it is in English and French. So, but this is the main thing is we're going to case this right here, pretty much case it. I'm going to show you how you can make it simple, stamp it up, and these are just easy ways to do it with these cards. So the first one that I start with always is the 3x3s, right? And I actually on this one, I sat there and I punched the corners, both the rounded edge as well as the flowers, and then I rounded this off. So we're just going to keep it simple, right? We're going to stamp a thank you, because I don't know about you, but I never ever have enough thank you notes. So this whole thing is just making a simple, fun, bright and cheerful cards, right? And what I like about this, you just want to make sure you got ink on here really good. And I'm just going to adjust the lighting for just a second here, because I can see that. Trying to figure out why my lighting was a little off. Let's see if that's a little bit better. It's a little bit better for me. If it's not better for you, it's definitely better for me. And I just left it there and it says thank you. So we're just doing simple stamping here, right? Now all we're going to do now is we're going to put this on with adhesive. So sometimes people don't know what to do with with the ones that are just words. Well, you know what? That's what we're doing about today. Just like in the catalog, they just use some simple stamping. That's what we're doing here. We're doing our white. So mine's a little bit different. I'll show it back to you in just a second. Mine's just a little bit different in the fact that I rounded the corners and I'm just going to center that. See, I can get the tip of those little flowers. So if I wanted to put something else there later, I could. But for the moment, though, I'm going to take these cute little loose daisy flowers here. And so yes, they are still available. They are in the new catalog, carried over from the old. I do have one little dragonfly there. Those are not available, my little thing there. And then I'm just going to put some little dots here wherever we're going to put some little daisies, right? So it's very easy. Just put a dot of glue. I can put some right here if I want to. And I'm also going to come over here and here. And I'll put a couple maybe right here too. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 7. Yay. Making sure I got my odd numbers there. So the white ones are going to show up really nice on the blue, right? They'll stand out. I do have a tool to do this, but I'm using my finger to do it today. Just licking my finger and getting it, right? Old school, maybe. There's a yellow one that'll go right there. But I'm going to put the white ones right there because they're going to show up easier there. And the yellow ones really stand out nicely here, right? White on white. Doesn't work nearly as well. We're just going to make it fun. So it's just, you know, there's no reason why we can't send thank you notes. And I have to tell you, I'm sending out a bunch of thank you notes right now to people that came to the retreat, people that just have done things for me. Some people just make my day. You know, it's all about, right? It's about creating, sharing, and giving. So I like to thank people. So there we go. We just have a cute, fun 3x3 card. We've added little accessories here, and we stamped it. So let's see what we've got in the catalog. So here's what we got in the catalog, and I just sized mine down and punched it. Oh, we got some flowers, and we stamped it. There you go. All right. So that was casing number 1, where we just made some adjustments, where we're going to do the same thing, right? All right. Card number 2 that we're going to case here. Okay, like I said, it's page 33 in the New Annual Catalog. So this is what they've got right here. So I don't have these flowers yet. Oh, thank you. You're right. I forget about the icons too. Hi, Linda. Hello, Bridget. Oh, yeah. Thank you. So I don't have these flowers. So I'm going to substitute the sunflowers, and you're going to see it's going to work out just as well, right? Okay. So we're going to first, I went ahead and I put some leaves out here, right? Because I'm using a different one. So I went ahead and had some extras from the other day. So I'm just going to use those as well too. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and at least stamp my sentiment. You're on my mind and in my heart. And I'm just going to do it in another color here. Let me get this out of the way for us. So I'm not using green right now. I am going to use the glue though. Alright. So this is the Stylish Stitch dies that I've used here. The other one I did a while ago wasn't any. I just cut paper and rounded the corners. I'll stamp that right here. And then we'll decorate from here, alright? So we'll decorate from here. This is my focal point, and my flowers are going to be the accents, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up on dimensionals, because that's the best way that I'm going to get the flowers in here and accessorize it and so forth and so on. So we're just going to take some dimensionals here. And I don't have to sit there and put the dimensionals and make them sticky yet, where they stick down, right? Right now I'm just trying to get my lay of the land of what I'm going to do. I already know what I'm going to do, but to show you what I'm going to do. And you know what, like this right here, I folded it over, but it still wants to pop up. So if you just take your bone folder and just go like this, and that'll help that out a lot. Okay, so I have this right here, and we have our flowers. So we got the daisies here, and I'm just going to add some. I brought some big ones and small ones, right? Just to see how we think that would look. Now, I'm fine with that, and then I actually brought some little ones just like they did, and I can stick one here. I can easily stick there, and I can easily stick some greenery in here. So this reminds me a lot like floral arranging. If you've ever done floral arranging, that's what it reminds me of. We can do it. I've done a couple of different ones. All right, so I've at least got my good idea of where I want things, right? So let's go ahead and do a couple of other things here that makes it simple. It's not that hard, all right? So what we're going to do is we're just actually going to color the tips of these just a little bit. And I've got my dauber right here. And I'm looking for the ink right here, that bit right here. Okay, so I'm just going to do the edges here. And you can do the center too, right? So this is a dauber, and just to let you know what it's going to look like. So it's just going to gently, it depends how much ink I want to put on it. Just give you an idea. So I'm just going to actually, though, I'm just going to be brushing the tips of the leaves. So I'm just going to be doing it like this. But I'm not done, right? Because I'm actually going to sit there. Daisies come in different colors. Flowers come in different colors, right? So don't be bashful. Use your colors. If you go to the florist, you want them black, they'll actually make them black for you. Alright, I'm not saying they come that way naturally, but they can do them in any color you want. But we're going to curl these leaves. I like curling flowers and leaves, both really. So really we're going to curl the petals here. So I'm just doing it right there, just using that right there. I could have just as easily used a sponge, right? And I could have just as easily used, what else? I'm looking at my hand right here. I could have easily used one of your blending brushes. So you can use whatever is easy and convenient for you. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this one right here just to give us an idea. We're going to add 3 flowers. If you notice here, I'll go back to the book, the catalog. They added 3 flowers, maybe some petals there, and we got some leaves. So we've got some flowers, so then we just have to think about where we're going to add some leaves, and then we're just going to glue it down, right? So I'm just going to add some there. You know, it's got this little stuff that's die cut. You don't have to worry about poking it all out now. You know, I always tell people it will come out on its own in due time. Between you handling it to get ready to mail it, to it being mailed, they come out. So don't sweat the small stuff. Alright, so see, I'm just going to tuck them in a little here, a little there. And I'm just going to put this one over here as well. Okay, so let's get it down. I'm going to go ahead and put this down right here because I'm not worried. I can tuck, right? So if you've ever done, but I know what I am looking at. I'm looking at that ink pad right there. I'm definitely getting ready to move it because I have visions of sticking my hand accidentally in ink. Okay. So just as I used the bone folder, we're going to use the bone folder for the leaves and all too. And let's see, I captured that one. Sometimes I capture it and sometimes I don't because it's not going to matter, right? But all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to curl those leaves. I'm okay with that. Its main thing is get your general idea down what you want to do, right? And so just get your bone folder, curl the leaves however you want to curl them, because I can easily come back and I can add a little dimensional or a glue dot under any one of these, keep that in place, right? So for me, I'm going to use a glue dot and I'll just keep that down in that one spot. So anything that's moving around on you and you don't like it, but you really don't want to show a whole lot, then just use a glue dot. And you can still allow you the flexibility of the tip, that you can still curl the tip if you want to. You can easily round that if you want to too. But I can easily come back with the tip of this and fluff it some more if I want, right? All I've done is just, if you want it even more, you can even clip between the leaves and do it as well too. Alright, so I'm just going to put this in with, I'm just going to do this, this is real tiny, so I'm just going to add it with a little, this here. Now what I do like about this die cut, all the greenery and all the flowers are cut from the daisy set, okay? So the nice thing I like about it is you get the real delicate little stuff, and then we can easily plug in other stuff as well too, right? But it's just easy to tuck stuff in there. So, and this stuff is real thin, so if you want to break it off, you can, and do it otherwise, but it just blends in nice like that. And then I actually have this little flower here that I was going to sit there and see how we liked it. Again, I'm just going to take it like right here. And fluff it up. Okay, so you can see how I can come in here right here, and I can also build a center if I want to. So I can put the center down right here with just a little bit of glue. And this is all in the die set, right? If you wanted to, there's some leftover pieces. When these are die cut, you could easily color and they would work just as well. But I just want to show you. I could do that right there. And then I'm just going to use glue here. And I haven't decided if I'm going to go and do the leaves on this one or not. I'm just going to leave it right now. But it's just nice to give it some added dimension. I'm going to hold that just a second because I've got to put the glue on it. Okay, good. I got that one in as well too. Okay, it just takes just a moment to do that right there, okay? Thank you. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to put a little glue here since I've got that there, and I'm going to take this little... So I could do it either way, right? I could either use a glue dot. I could do what I just did. Now you do want it to come right. This has got to be mailed, so I do have to turn it just a little, but that'll dry clear. I have to maneuver it just a little bit more. Okay, there we go. And it'll be okay because I'm going to actually curl the leaves here again too. So when I curl them, it's going to put them right in there. Again, I'm just using my bone folder. I'm just holding the glue down while it's drying. Trying not to let it get it stick to me. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. Oop, I pulled that flower out. That's okay. Alright, so you can see I've still got that there. Now here's one right here that I've colored, and you can see the center part is still there. So I'm going to leave it there so I can easily color it with a blending pen. Not with yellow because I don't have yellow handy. Hello, Nancy. Right, it's all about, can we make cute, fun cards? Just simple, right? Now that one just came out, so let me just get that right back in there with a dot. So don't sweat the small stuff, right? Because you're going to have so many layers here by the time we're done. There we go. And I'm just going to put this like right over the top. But I'm going to bend it a little, right? So I've already curled the leaves, and I'm just going to get the center down in there so I can squish it down in there. And there you go. Now if you did it and you did a certain color and you decided you didn't like it, that's fine. So then just change, all you do is go change the tips of the colors, right? Because sunflowers are all different colors. The centers are different colors, depending on which ones you get, right? Okay, so all I have left is the leaf here. And then we'll put some embellishments on it and we're done. So the purpose of these cards is that they're easy to stamp, right? And it's easy to go through and sit there and die cut. Because you're just running it through the machine, right? And I'm just going to curl that leaf. As I do, some of that stuff comes out too, which is fine. But at least we got our leaves curled. So the only other thing we're going to do now is we're going to add a few of the flowers. See if I can, they only added 3 here, so let me just add 2 here and 1 over here. Again, they did it in white, right? Because we can see the white really well in the blue. Oh, dropped our yellow one there. Alright. I guess the yellow one would stay there because I dropped it there. So anytime I drop something on something else, to me it's just a sign that needs to go there. Alright, so let's just put that there where it fell. Wasn't on the game plan, but hey, that's okay. A lot of things that happen in life that is not on the game plan, right? So there we go. We've just made it. And looky here, we can add more leaves if we want to. So here's what they've done in the catalog. Like I said, it's on page 33, the annual catalog. The unit just came out. And this is what we've done right here. We've just used a different flower. We've added some greenery. I think that's done. And you know what? I'm going to add a couple more leaves here as I look at this. And I'm just going to tuck them in on this side. Because I can, right? And plus they're extra over here. So if I decide I want to add some more, I can, right? So I'm just going to, see, a problem is I'm going to cover those up, and I didn't want to do that. So I'll keep on shifting and shifting. There we go. I'll shift it to right there, and I can add another flower easily. These are just easy to add and easy to do, right? Okay. So I got 3 white ones and 1 yellow one. Alright, so here we go. This is card number 2. So here we have, right here, that we created. And here's what we have in the catalog. Okay, so you can easily add more flowers if you want to add more flowers. But that's what I've done with this one here. So this is our card number 2. Card number 3. This is what we're doing right here. This one right here. Again, I don't have those exact items. So what you do is you just substitute with what you do have, alright? So we're going to take this out. I have the ribbon, I have flowers. I'm using daisies again, right? And I know what I was looking for. Let's see. Crushed curry. Crushed curry. Ah, got it. Either or, right? So you could easily use crushed curry or the really light yellow. And I'm going to go back to the other one just a minute ago, most probably, and color in that yellow. But we'll use a dauber here as well, too. So I'm just going to, first of all, stamp it. And this one, we're going to use the writer pens. Okay, So what you can do with the writer pens is we're going to color, all right? So if you look at this right here, see how this is done here with 2 different colors? Well, I could do it 2 ways. I can either color the stamp set with the writer markers, or I could sit up there and, that's one I was going to use, or I could sit there and color the stamp that I'm going to stamp with this here. All right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to come across here. I'm going to make sure I ink it well. Now I'm not going to do this I'm So Happy for You because it's a different color, and we're actually going to put that up on a dimensional. So all I'm doing is I'm literally just coloring the stamp. So could I do masking instead? I could, but I'm not because I want to show you this right here. So I'm coloring this, and will it dry in between? Yes, but we're going to show you how to do that as well too. And if I don't do it right, guess what? We'll do it again. Okay? If anything goes wrong, it usually goes wrong when you're doing lives, right? Not while you're in person. It's usually if it's going to happen. It usually happens when you're doing lives because we're live, right? So you get to see all. If we struggle, you get to see, right? Because we're not perfect yet. Things happen, right? It's Wednesday though. We're 2 days closer to the weekend. Alright, so once I get through with this, I'm just going to breathe on it, right? Just give it a nice big breath to give it some moisture, especially for that top part. But I just want to make sure I got this inked really well, and we'll see how well we do it today. Right? We'll do it together. So all I'm going to do is go... Alright, I just breathed on it, just in case the top part just needs a little moisture. Okay, so that's really light, but it'll darken a little bit, just a minute. And then what we're going to do is, I'm going to clean this stamp. And then I'm going to do the So Happy. So Happy, I'm going to do it on a separate piece of paper, and we're going to put it up on dimensionals, and I'm just going to cut it. So, I'm just going to take the purple here, just like they did, a lilac. I call it purple, but it's really fresh freesia. I'm just going to take this here, and we're going to stamp. We're going to ink this up right here. Now, if I have to ink up the other one again and do it differently, I will. So this one's just So Happy for You that we're coloring. Again, right, we could have used an ink pad. It would have been challenging, right, because the fact if I went different colors. Because the letters are over across one another, basically. So it would have been a real interesting test to sit there and have used masking to do this, but we could have. It would have been a little more challenging. Another day, another time, I'll show you how to do that. Because I don't sweat the small stuff, because all this stuff is really small stuff, right? It's really not, the world's not ending. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, breathe on it again. Okay, there you go. My grandkids would just love that. Alright, then I'm going to stamp it there. So there you go. So you can see So Happy. So it gives it that nice different look. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one over again. I think I'm going to do the green instead. So I didn't do the green, did I? I didn't bring the green with me. Okay, I am going to, trying to think how we can do that for you. Well, Challenges. That really won't work. Because see, what you're going to see here is when I go to do this, because I can't see, right? If I was using the clear stamps, I would be able to do this. Let's see if I can do that here. If I do, I would almost need... Okay, it looks like I might have just done the S a little bit there. I'll clean that off. So I can do the same thing, right? Just as I breathe on the other to get the moisture there, I can do the same thing here. I'm going to show you this, but I'm going to now. Bridget would tell me I need a Q-tip. I wasn't planning on doing that. It's inked up fine. It's just I don't like the fact that the color did not come out as dark as I had wished on the first color. So that's fine. I'll just change the colors. Main thing is that's bright and cheerful, right? So I'm going to just do this again. I'm just going to flip it over. So if you're wondering how I'm going to sweat the small stuff or not sweat, not sweat it, it's because all I'm going to do is take that piece of paper and flip it over that I already die cut. I'm just coloring these. A coloring exercise today. Woo woo. But we're coloring stamps, right? That we can clean off and make a beautiful thank you card, message cards for people. So there. So how are you guys doing? It's been an interesting week for me. It always is. There's always interesting things always happening. So it's it's like we're one place closer to the weekend. One day closer. All right. So I'm just gonna breathe on this again. All right. See what you think of this. I think we need a little bit darker color. Okay, there you go. So I really wanted you to be able to see it, okay? Because I can see it on my end, but I wasn't sure that you can really see it on your end. So I just changed colors, so it's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be quite as light. It's here, but you really can't see it. So I'm just going to do here for this here. Then I'm just actually just going to cut this off right here with my scissors, and we're just going to put it with dimensionals. And then we'll go from there. We're putting our flowers. So I'm just going to wing it. I could get my paper cutter down and do it, but I'm not really worried. White, it's going to be white on white, right? So I'm just going to trim this off a little bit. And I'll just tear that off because that's just small. And we're just going to do this right here, and we're going to put it up on dimensional. So that's really what helps this stand out, right? Is that we're putting part of the words up on dimensionals, right in the center. And we're going to just put it up right here, okay, on dimensionals. So just, it's amazing what just adding dimensionals to something can give something just a different look. All right, I'm going to flash us back to the catalog again to sit there and see how we're coming along in comparison. Because I know we're going to put some flowers on here. We're going to put this right in the middle, and we're going to add ribbon too. So when we step things up, right, it's not just about the fact that we're adding more things, don't we? We add something each time. Okay, let me tap this just a little bit here. This one looks a little angled. Okay, got just one paper there left. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so we're just gonna put it right here. All right, so let's look back at the catalog, see how we're shaping up. All right, so here we are. We're going to put some paper underneath it, and we're going to wrap ribbon around it. How you like that? So what we're going to do here is we do have our paper here, and we're going to add flowers when we get through. So we're just going to put this down. I am going to put mine down, just flat down, okay? And we're going to wrap ribbon right across it, or we could wrap the ribbon behind. You tell me what you prefer. I can either put the ribbon across. That won't work there, but I could do it here. Or we could just do it like right under here. I think we're going to just do it right under here. How about that? But I have to leave myself room to make a bow. Okay? So let's go ahead and we're going to get this down. I'm going to put this right up here. It looks like about like what they had theirs. So you see what I've got on the back side. So nobody knows that except you and I and anybody else that watches the video. So don't sweat it if you stamp something incorrectly or you didn't like it. Just flip it over and use the other side. Alright? Because once you get this down, unless somebody tears your card apart to dissect it, they're not going to know. Which, they're not going to do that anyway because you sent them a beautiful card. Alright? So let's just get this down here. I'm going to leave myself, make sure I got plenty of room to make a bow. Because I don't want to shortchange myself. I'm just going to put it right here. So it's a little off-centered because we're going to put the flowers so that you know. We're going to put the flowers. Alright, you know what? I'm glad I did this. I was going to put the flowers like this, right? So as a result, I'm really sort of going to reverse things because I wanted the leaves on top. Alright, so I'm glad I checked that. Alright, we're going to come back over here. We're going to do our bow on this side. So this is going to be a little bit on the opposite side, right, of what they did in the catalog. But that's okay, because the main thing is I'm going to create what I want. And I want to use the sunflowers because I didn't have the other flowers. And that's going to hold it in place. And you know what? The other thing to do, so yes, you can see the back of the paper there. Beautiful paper, but we're not using that side. So all I'm going to do, and I shared this the other day when we were doing the retreat and all, you know, to keep people get concerned about their ribbon moving around on them and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. Just put some glue dots on back. Nobody's going to know, right? They'll hold your ribbon in place. All right, and then you can tie your bow over here to the side or not, or whatever else you want to do. So we have choices at this point that we can either put this piece down, because you really can't tell, because they actually, I will tell you, in the catalog, it looks like they actually did a gift box, and we're not doing a gift box, we're doing a card. So we're just going to make a little bow here. So the thing is with this, you could do it one of two ways. You can either put it down with adhesive, or you can put it down with dimensionals. Just depends on what you want in height, right? Okay, I'm just going to trim this off. So we have our bow. Let's see how it's looking for us. So it's just going to go just like that, right? Okay, so we can either put this on, if you want to see what the difference is going to be. This would be if it was flat, right? Like I said, there's no way to tell because it looks like they made it into a gift box. And this is if we put it up on dimensionals. Now see, I like that. I like the dimensionals, so I'm going to go and do that. And I'm actually going to use these corners too. Sometimes we forget that we can use the corner edges here and just go ahead and put them down. So I'm going to put some right here on the side where the ribbon's at. So you can put them any way you want. The main thing is we're just going to make sure the card is down, right? So I'm just going to put some here. And I'll put some more at the top here. So right, it's not, when underneath you would say, wow, you know, but you know what? Nobody sees it, right? The main thing is we're just trying to make sure that the card is here to the card base. And then there we're just going to decorate from there, okay? So all I'm going to do is just take these off, we'll put it down, and then we can add our flowers and anything else we want to add. Now keep in mind, right, when we use the darker colors like this, or any kind of color, we're going to need to put cardstock on the inside to stamp the sentiment and all. So just FYI, I just keep handy a bunch of 4x5s. One of my friends, it's very nice to cut 4x5s for me, make sure I have them handy all the time. Thank you, Bridget. I have other friends help keep things as well too. Especially stuff I use a lot of. So I use a lot of 4x5 white, right? Because every time you see that I use colored paper, I'm going to have to use 4x5 white on the inside to stamp my sentiment. Alright, so right here you can say, okay, I'm not necessarily floating my boat yet, but that's okay. Here we go. We're going to now do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to sit there and fluff these, curve them I should say, we're not really fluffing them, and we're just doing it with the bone folder. So I'm just going to fluff up the leaves here, curl them really, it's really more what I'm doing, and then we can color them any color we want. So the blender pens and all makes it easy to do it right there if you've already got it down and want to do it. I would tell you to do whatever you feel comfortable with and feel like it's easiest for you to do. Now, so what I'm going to do with these here, since I got my ink spot from my paper pumpkin, somebody asked me today if you could buy ink spots. You can, if they do have where they sell them, and it's got certain colors in it. You'll have to see if it's the colors you want. If not, they sell the blank ones that you can use. See, I'm just going to dab it in the middle. That you can sit there and use with the ink refills and put whatever, create your own little ink spots. I mean, they're nice and handy to travel with and all. And I like the ones in my paper pumpkin. I keep them and collect them, but I don't use them for everything, right? So let's see how that's shaping up for us. So we're going to be putting this flower right over here. So it's like a little bit reversed. And I'm going to have to trim this just a little bit. So I'm going to trim this flower right here. And all you got to do is follow the curve of the flower right there. And I'm just going to follow the curve of it. And I'm just going to leave the daisies white this time, okay? We can color the leaves, we want to color the leaves. So this is all connected, so this is very easy just to put on here just like this. So I am going to go ahead and put that on, but I'm going to do it with glue, okay? Because I want to be able to see the little holes, which we can see, and I know the one, they'll fall out the other one on the other side there. And so I'm just going to put a little liquid glue here. And actually I can put it down the middle too, right? Because all that stuff is just fine. And I'll just put it down like right here. So see, I don't really have to do a whole lot with the flowers, right? Because it already comes this way. The only thing that I would do is if I wanted to sit there and color the flowers, leaves if I wanted to or whatever. Now I'm going to let that set a second. I'll come back and recurl those. But I like putting some of the leaves right underneath. And I have come and snipped these right in here on some other stuff I've done. Totally up to you, right? So the only other thing I'm going to do though is I have this one. And let's see if I got enough color off of it. And do something I would tell you not to do. Okay, so I am going to add just a little bit of color. Alright, just so I can see what my color is going to look like. So I'm going to do this to the leaves right here. And I'm just going to brush them gently, since I've already got them on. But you can, right? So if you change your mind after you've already got something on, then just go and do whatever you want to do, right? The worst thing I have to do, right, would be is that I have to fluff up the leaves again. But I can color them just like that. There you go. Alright, and I can just easily do that little leaf there too, just like a little brush there of greenery. And there you go. So from here then, if you look at the book, the catalog, so this is what the catalog's done. We've done the same thing except we flipped sides, and I had to change colors because I really couldn't see that color right there. And I've got the color here, and I can color the leaves if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm just going to leave them be. And the only other thing I'm going to do is I did put some of the little white flowers there. So we are going to do the same thing. We're going to put some little white flowers. We'll put one right up here. And then have some down here. Let's see if I'm trying to reverse what they did, reverse. And I'll put one right there. And then we're done. So, it takes more time to explain than it does to do. And once you've learned to curl, it doesn't take anything to curl the flowers. They're just very easy to do. You just need something, right? I've actually done some with the ink pen. The bone folder is really nice and easy. Okay. So there you go. So let's see what we've got here. We've got the catalog. So let's show the catalog. So here's the catalog. Alright, so here's what we've done to case what we got right here. We did flowers on something. We used totally different flowers, right? We used the same color ribbon, and we wrapped it around. We put this all up on dimensionals, and we did our different colors right there. Alright. The other card that we did was the beginning one. We did this one here. We sized it down. We did something different with the corners. But we used the same stamping set, and we add the flowers and so forth. And we did a little bit different color there as well too. And then our in-between card right here that we did, and we added some different colors right here, is this one, different flowers. It's this one right here. And this is what we did. And so for this one, it'd be very easy, if it's dry now. Yes, it is. So it could be very easy for me to take this one here that we did earlier, and I could easily come and just put a color right there. So if I took my ink spot, because I already know that I used crushed curry when I did the other one, so I just can do the same thing, right? It's going to be a little bit darker there, but it's okay, right? If we're going to do that over here too, we could do that as well as too. See? So there you go. So we've created 3 cards today, keeping it simple, stepping it up by using page 33 in the annual catalog that just came out May 2nd to sit up there and go encase it and make our own cards, right? It's just very simple. So I hope you enjoy that. There's a lot of tools out there, a lot of things that you can do. Hello, Jennifer. So, you know, you have options and choices. You can either use like the pens to color it. You can use the ink pads. You can mask. Today I wanted to show you the ink pens themselves, though, especially when you have words that are crossing over one another and you want to do different colors. So you can see that today it was easier to go back and do it over with a green that was a little bit brighter than the first color that I chose to use. It didn't come out as dark as I thought. That's okay. Just go and turn over the piece that you cut and restamp it the way you want it, all right? So go out there. The important thing is that you learn. You go out there and you create, share, and give. And just a reminder, you can rewatch this anytime on YouTube because it'll be out there, as well as photos will be posted on Instagram and Pinterest. With that, be blessed. Go out there, create, share, and give. And if you haven't signed up yet for bingo, we still have some slots left. It's going to be on May 11th, but you need to sign up now because packets will be mailing out this Saturday. Because not only are we doing 6 games of bingo, but we're making 2 cards after that. So there you go. Everything will be prepped for you. You just have to stamp and adhere. There you go. All right. Be blessed. See you next week on Keep It Simple or Stamp It Up. Judy Allen here in San Antonio, Texas. Bye.